Hi, welcome to Paul 99.9, the best radio station in Mexico. I'm your host, Lucas, and today we are going to talk about the following topics: early humans, early civilizations, human origins, what is culture, Rome, the transition of Rome from republic to an empire, Christianity, and religions in general. So let's start with early humans. There is fossil evidence that early humans were originated in Africa, and after Africa, humans spread throughout the whole world. Scientists say that the first human was Lucy. That was a Homo sapien. Also, the worldwide type of government back in those days was the anarchy, which means there were no rules, laws, or leaders. Now we are going to talk with our early humanity expert, Lorenzo.
Whoa, that's really interesting, Lucas. Thanks for having me here. Thinking about early humans brings back some fun facts I learned a while back. For example, did you know they created tools from simple materials like rocks and wood? They also managed to find effective ways of communicating even before actual formal languages were developed. They also discovered fire and used it for their advantage as soon as they managed to manipulate it. This showed signs of higher intelligence compared to other species.
Now, let's go to our second topic, that is early civilizations. Our friend Maria is here to help us out with early civilizations. Welcome, Maria. Tell us something about early civilizations, please.
Good morning, Lucas. Yes, of course. In early civilization formed fertile plants. These lands faced some challenges such as flooding, which ruined the crops, and they also didn't really have a lot of space to grow them in. This civilization invented many useful things, such as the irrigation system and bronze tools. One of them being the spears, which was used for hunting.
You're right, Maria. Lorenzo, do you have something to say about early civilizations?
Yes, I actually do. Early civilizations is a pretty wide topic, and I've learned some things about it throughout my life. For example, did you know that what we know today as Mexican territory was once home to almost 20 different civilizations? Also, did you know that these extremely old civilizations influenced current Mexican culture in an enormous way despite existing so long ago?
Now that we learned about early civilizations, let's continue with our third topic, that is human origins. For this section, we decided to invite the famous Anáhuac University history teacher, Claudia Ramirez.
Thanks for inviting me, Lucas. Today I'm going to talk about archaeologists. Well, archaeologists are very important in our society because they bring relevant facts and information about things that happened in the past. And archaeologist jobs can get pretty complicated because they're really a lot under the auction. If they find an old fossil, for example, they had to analyze it really carefully and their conclusion about it might not be 100% exact. My friend, who's an expert, decided to come here with me and give you some as facts as well. He is called Jose. Go ahead, Jose. Tell them some interesting information.
That's right, Claudia. Archaeologists don't really have a simple job, but their contributions to our knowledge of the past have been immense and have had really significant impacts in our knowledge about human origins. Humans originated in Africa. We know that knowledge from archaeologists when they found a fossil of what we believe to be the first human called Lucy.
Whoa, Claudia and Jose, that was some good information about human origins. Our fourth topic is culture. Culture is the compilation of knowledge, experiences, and beliefs that a group of people who generally shares the same geographical location have in common. I decided to personally invite my good friend Alan, who is really into culture of all kinds.
That's right, Lucas. Culture is something that is really interesting, and I could be here talking about it for hours. But I want to focus on the culture of a certain place. That place is Greece. To be specific, classical Greece.
I like classical Greece, Lucas. Do you have something to say about it?
Yes, I do, Claudia. The classical Greek culture is a culture that has influenced other cultures in the world. A very interesting thing about the Greek culture is that people had a really peculiar religion. They were polytheistic, which means that they believed in multiple gods. Another really cool fact about Greeks is that their population in general was very intelligent, especially for their time. Amongst the Greeks, there were some remarkable philosophers. whose influence is relevant even nowadays.
That is very interesting, Lucas. Greek culture was very important in those times.
Now that we talked about the culture and the early civilizations, I want to focus on a very interesting city that influenced a lot of other countries that exist today. This city is called Rome. We decided to invite our Italian friend Chiara. Welcome, Chiara. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Lucas, for giving me the word. Rome was founded by Romulus. There was a legend about Romulus having a twin brother named Remus. One interesting fact is that in ancient Rome, only the free-born men were allowed to wear togas. That was one of the signs to be a Roman citizenship. The ancient Rome civilization began on the Italian peninsula. The religion was polytheistic. I decided that my good friend Luigi could afford some really nice facts for today's topic. He's here with me right now. Come on, Luigi, tell us some interesting information.
Thanks, Chiara. At first, Rome was divided into patricians and plebeians. People who classified as patricians were what nowadays we would call the higher class, and the plebeians were poor people. An interesting thing about Rome is that they didn't have a middle class. This system was really unfair because being a patrician or a plebeian was decided based on your family, so people didn't get to choose.
Now that we know a bit more about Rome, we are going to talk about a very important part of Rome's history. This part is the transition of republic to an empire. To talk about this, I want my friend Paula to join.
Hello, Lucas. Thanks for inviting me to the show. First, Rome was a republic. They were ruled by kings. It all began when the Romans overthrew the Etruscan conquerors. The Roman government was occupied by countries. One example of government was the United States, that is based partly on Rome's model. The republic failed because of three things. First was economic turmoil, that was a huge gap between the rich and poor people. The second reason was the military upheaval, that was the loss of trust army that defends Rome for years. And the last reason was Julius Caesar. He took the control of Rome in 59 before Christ. When he took the control, he did various reforms that did benefits Rome, but after he could do anything to transform Rome to a republic, he was assassinated, and that's why all his efforts were in vain.
That's some good information, Paula. Now I have some extra information to say about the empire. Well, the empire started after the death of Julius Caesar. After he died, his adopted son Octavius, also known as Augustus, took the control of Rome. He took the control in the year 27 before Christ, and he was the first absolute ruler of Rome. He transformed Rome from a republic to an empire ruled by one man. The empire was very successful, and they conquered a lot of countries, and also they solved their economical problems. But since everything that goes up must come down, the empire fell. But that is something for the next radio transmission in APL 99.99.
Hope you invite me next week.
Sure, I will, Paula. Now, let's talk about our next topic that most of you might know. This topic is Christianity. My friend John is going to talk about the historical part of Christianity, which is the biggest religion that we have nowadays.
Thanks for the invitation, Lucas. Now I'm going to talk about Christianity. Christianity is a monotheist religion that is based on the belief that there is only one all-powerful, omniscient God who created everything in the universe. Christianity was popularized when Jesus Christ was born. It's believed that Jesus was God's son and that he sacrificed himself in order to save everyone on earth from sin. This religion seemed very convincing to a lot of people, and it started growing incredibly quick. Nowadays, it's still the biggest religion in the world, which is impressive.
That was nice, John. Now let's talk about religions around the world with my friend Amy.
Thanks for inviting me, Lucas. Today I have some really good information about religion around the world. There are three top: Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism. Each country has their own religion depending on the traditions or some other share. But not always people follow the traditions because they have different way of thinking or beliefs. Each religion has some information that can be related with each other. One example is between Catholic and Jewish. They have almost the same story, but the only thing is Catholic people believe that the Messiah has already come and the Jewish people are still waiting for him. Each person have their own beliefs, and depending on their beliefs is the religion that they follow.
The time is over for us. This was a nice radio transmission, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, Lucas.
Thanks for being here with us, guys. Tune in every Thursday morning from 8:50 to 9 a.m. for more programs related to history. See you next week.